Today's topic, we're talking about the whole Jill Biden doctor debate. Now, the article that was written by Joseph Epstein, and Joey and I were just learning that this man is like 83 years old, has not made any significant publication since 2003,
dusted the cobwebs off himself. We were like, Jill, you slut, how could you?
Let's take a look at the article itself. So he titled it, "Is there a doctor in the White House? Not if you need an MD." Has there ever been a point at which the president or anyone within the White House has been like, shit, I need a doctor and it is not immediately available to me? Jill Biden should think about dropping the honorific, which feels fraudulent, even comic. Madam First Lady, Mrs. Biden, Jill, kiddo. He just descends further and further from these different titles into just calling her a child. Would you do that to someone that you would respect necessarily? Like, have I, as someone who respects you, allegedly, Joey, have I ever called you a child?
I think so, but it was out of respect.
Any chance you might drop the doctor before your name? Dr. Jill Biden sounds and feels fraudulent, not to say a touch comic. Your degree, I believe, is in EDD through a dissertation with the unpromising title, Student Retention at the Community College Level, Meeting Students' Needs.
To phrase it in a way that expressing doubt in exactly what she does, as if like, what, you just didn't put in the time to fully know what it is? Like, it wasn't even worth your time as an endeavor? Because it's so silly. It's very hard to learn the things you're talking about. It's a lot of research that you only have to partly believe what you're saying.
A wise man once said that no one should call himself doctor unless he has delivered a child. This is interesting because Ben Shapiro actually had a very similar take. He says, if you're at a dinner and somebody introduces himself as Dr. Smith, you'd be rather upset to learn that he had a doctorate in musicology if you were to suffer a stroke at the table.
You chose music, you punk bitch. I'm dying now.
You think Ben Shapiro just like shit tests all of his guests? Like, oh, so you're a doctor, huh? Honey! Gets his wife over. Go into labor right now. Yeah. You said you're a doctor? Deliver my wife's child. That feels like what he wants to have happen in these situations.
Say that this doctor was there, right? This neurologist or whatever. What is he gonna do in this situation?
Right.
Does he have his tools in his car? Like
again, even if you were an OBGYN, right? You would not be like, thank God I'm here. I will now deliver this child on Ben Shapiro's dinner table.
There's some OBGYN out there that is only in it so she can deliver babies like at will whenever she pleases.
I know that they need me. I'm simply just waiting for the right one.
Hovers around pregnant people. You good?
Yeah, like what's going on?
You good?
It is not abnormal for us in society to refer to people as doctors if they are not that medical profession.
As it relates to this debate, it just feels disingenuous to come at it attacking one person who's using a title that societally we deemed is okay. And now we're saying society shouldn't be okay with this because of Jill Biden.
Yes.
It's ridiculous.
To put what you're saying in a slightly different way, if the argument were, it is silly that we call academics doctors, that would be different and maybe more legitimate than saying Dr. Jill Biden, kiddo, drop the doctor title. If Joseph Epstein's argument was about the title in general, I feel like that would be more legitimate, but he was just attacking her, which feels weird. Again, he's kind of crawling out of retirement to do this.
No.
And more than that, it's just like, I don't know, I can't help but think that it is oddly sexist in a way. We have never had an issue with referring to professors as doctors. That's why I find this one particular article very, very disingenuous. Writer Kyle Smith says, none of the professors I knew at Yale, even the ones that were eminent in their fields, insisted on the title. And I think most of them would have scoffed if someone had addressed them as doctor.
To say like my friends at Yale don't use it is like saying like my black friend said it's okay. Yeah, it's like, you know 5 professors who don't use the title, and that means that nobody.
Bro. Maybe that's true in this particular writer's personal case, but when we were at Williams, I was in a class with a professor who insisted on being called doctor. It literally costed me nothing, right? Instead of just saying professor, I would say doctor. And also I recognized, yes, this person has earned this title. They were in school, higher education, 4, 5, 6 years to get this title, right? Like they deserve it. And if they're like, I want you to call me this thing, that's totally okay. Like if some dude came up to me and was like, call me the tickle man. And I was like, bro, prove that you're the tickle man, right? And I see him just tickling people relentlessly. I'm like, all right, you've earned it, right? He put in the work. I feel like it's the exact same thing with calling someone a doctor academically, right? They put in the work. If they're down to tickle people, we call them the tickle man. You know what I mean? Like, does that?
No, yeah. Then I'm sure you'd have crazy people out there being like, oh, I don't know if he's a tickle man unless he can give people strokes with his tickles. So,
unless he can go to Ben Shapiro's house and tickle his wife into a stroke as she's delivering their godson. It's odd to kind of have this like double-minded, liberal people are so snowflakey about some things, but then to get so upset about the idea of just like someone calling themselves a doctor because they've earned it.
How much of it is anger at this for some reason? It's certainly playing a role. Yeah. And then the other...
Jill! Yeah.
She's not a doctor!
No, she can't save Ben Shapiro! Ah! Yeah, what's up, dude?
Her not being able to bring another Ben Shapiro in this world is what it takes. If she can't be a doctor at that point, I would be willing... I'd be willing to make the sacrifice.
Jill, keep doing what you're doing.
We can erase this video. We'll concede if she could stop that.
You know what? You're right. She's not a real doctor because she can't bring Ben Shapiro Jr. into the world. And honestly, I think we're all okay with that.
Yeah.
I think that's okay, honestly.
No, agree. To use the language that he uses, just inflammatory, not needing to go their language. He's trying to dock her from doctor status to...
Kiddo.
Yeah. If we're gonna concede somewhat, like, we can maybe have other words to describe things. Does that mean we're on the side of she shouldn't be called a doctor? Any of these people shouldn't be called doctors? Absolutely not. I think, right? Are you on that side?
Dude, the more we've talked about this, I feel like you had a point.
Yeah, we're convincing ourselves of the opposite.
All right, thanks guys. So be sure to subscribe.
It makes you wonder, do you need to use language like this to have your shit blow up? If he's gonna dock her from doctor to adult, probably doesn't need to go kiddo in his description. And maybe that's what you have to do when your argument is baseless. You have to dig deeper so people accept the slightly better alternative that she's not a kiddo. I don't think anyone's actually buying that, or that we should have that lack of respect when talking about.
I mean, have we seen her birth certificate? Do we know how old she is?
Fair enough.
Is she Muslim?
Good point.
Come on, lad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Listen.
Is she secretly a socialist, dude? We don't know.
Come on.
We do not know.
What if this is like a 4D chess move where he's like, you know what? I want to push the needle for society. And so I'm going to overcorrect by being super disrespectful so that society is like, you know what? We'll meet somewhere in the middle. We'll give you halvesies. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want the whole damn thing. You know what I'm saying? You want the whole tray of baklava. I'll give you a square. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, saying what he said, how he said it, he got tons of people to talk about it, and succeeded in that way.
He's a genius.
Yeah.
You're a genius.
Yeah. Yeah, we need him to plug more messages.
Bro. What's next? Come on.
Yeah.
Listen, I know you've been out of retirement for a minute, but it seems like you hit a hot streak at this point. I don't know if this is the first time in your career, but maybe there's a momentum that you can keep going. I don't know.
We shouldn't call people professors who teach in the arts. I think that's something we can agree upon. Art is subjective. Yeah. Books can mean not what you think they mean.
That's true.
What's this person an expert of?
Did my mom ever love me? You know what I mean? I'm sure these are questions that Joseph is asking himself very frequently. You know what I'm saying? It feels like this is something that is very inconsequential to society. There has been no loss of life, no harm, no injury. No group of people has been hurt by the fact that Dr. Jill Biden is called a doctor, right? This article could have gone unwritten and no one would have minded at all. You know what I mean? There are people who are interested in simply just being like, this is something that I, for whatever reason, feel uncomfortable with. I need to let others know and also impose that on others, right? He's telling Jill Biden, take that out of your name, right? Instead of it just being an open discussion about doctoral tags in academia. It kind of rings to me as like this weird, almost like paternalistic, I'm smarter than you, I know better, so you should do what I say, rather than just like, here's an inquiry that I had about how we talk about this thing in society. So let me pose this open question to everyone, right? Rather than it being an attack on a specific person.
I mean, to build on that,
Don't you dare.
yeah.
This is my house.
Build to a higher, better point
Okay. I
that
can
you
get behind
previously reached. You have to just think about with everything going on right now, there's plenty of issues. Instead, what we have is a seemingly politicized attack on somebody because she is the incoming first lady, but actually engages with nothing politically because it's not about an issue that is of any consequence to any of us.
I think that's it. What do you think, Joey?
Yeah, me too.
We want to hear what you guys think. Let us know in the comments. Hit us up on Twitter. Hit us up on social media.
Hard to draw a big conclusion from this when the thing itself is so dumb and meaningless to all of us.
Do you think we're part of the problem for talking about this? Like
Let us
giving
know in the
credence-
comments.
Let us know in the comments if we're part of the problem.
Yeah.
Bro, trying to go storm the Capitol?
Yeah, I'm done.
All right. Catch you guys next week.